Oh, yeah. I need to get you a scarf or you feel left out because I got an extra Indy 11 scarf if you need one.
Hey, man, bring it on. I'll take a scarf. What's the history behind that? What does it mean?
The history of the scarf, if you look back to, we'll take steps way back to England, and don't even ask me when the time and all that good stuff it took place. But if you look at the British Premier League, right? So the EPL is the most wealthy, the strongest league in the world as it relates to soccer/football. And you sit and you look at England and you look at how cold it is there, notoriously, or how crappy the weather is overall. So in its early inclination, many were having to wear their jackets or coats, what have you, and not be able to truly reflect or represent their colors, i.e. flying the blue for Chelsea FC, i.e. flying the red for the Manchester Red Devils, you know. So the scarf itself basically came out of just the sheer fact of wanting to represent your colors and do so in a fashion that reflected the crappy weather that, the British are blessed with.
Well, it went all the way back to the Game of Thrones days, right?
There it is. Game of Thrones. Exactly.
Were you a Game of Thrones fan?
Tom, I have to admit I'm not, and not by default. There's certain things my wife allows me to do and not do, and she was concerned that I might bust out the old Dungeons and Dragons set if I started getting sucked into that show.
Then she'd be afraid you're going to be moving back home to your mom's basement, right?
Right?
That's great. You know what? I did get into it, and then I fell off, and then I started binging and trying to catch up, and then I didn't catch up, and then everybody was complaining about the way it ended, so I kind of just died off at the end of season 6. So I survived, but I hear Starbucks was a big part of the finale.
Right?
I don't know. Talk about market placement. Sean Horton joined us this rainy day here in Indianapolis. Speaking of yucky weather, talking some soccer with us, and you're always welcome here to call and talk soccer with us at any time. Any final thoughts or words of wisdom, sir?
No, you know what? Just go Team USA.
Go Team USA!
No,
Come
man,
on, celebrate there, man.
Hopefully we get back on for another recap. As the U.S. women continue to crush the other countries, man, if, I'm welcome. I'm more than happy to chime back in with you and maybe know what I'm talking a little bit about everything going on here next Saturday.
Well, if it makes you feel better, you're doing a heck of a lot better. You know a lot more about soccer than I do. So there you go. Score, my friend. Score.
Ooh.
All right. We'll talk with you soon, buddy. All right.
Thanks,
talk with you soon. All righty. Ooh, that's fun times with Sean Horton. I tell you what, me and him go back many years, and I knew that he's a big soccer fan, about as big as I'm the other football fan. And I have to admit, my knowledge of soccer, so hey, it's fun conversations. Two guys talking about soccer. One guy knows about soccer. One guy doesn't know so much about soccer. I know enough to create a segment on the show, The Balance. 917-889-8516 is our digits. Coming back, just me and you together with a fireside chat. This is The Balance. Well, that's my one attempt at Jim Nance. Well, we'll just kind of cover the gamut of sports and what's going on with the MLB. We're going to recap the NBA Finals. We're going to recap the Stanley Cup Finals and the St. Louis Blues. And we'll get into just whatever conversation. So if you want to talk sports or Game of Thrones or 80s throwback T-shirts or anything, we're all game. It's Father's Day weekend. We'll be right back right here on the Balance Radio Network.
Tonight, I just want to take you away. Throw your hands up in the sky. Let's make this party alright. Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do?
The Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
It's double trouble, double the fun at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals, see live educational shows, feel the excitement, have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo, feel the adventure. Shop the Symbol Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike, you know.
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
Welcome back to the Balance. Final segment, ready to get going. 90 minutes in the books on a rainy Saturday morning here high atop the Balance Studios in the west suburbs of Indianapolis, Indiana. 917-889-8516 is my digit. Let's talk sports. Let's talk what's going on, what's on your mind. Thanks to Matthew Embury, started to show off with some IndyCar talk and some 24-hour Le Mans, which is the granddaddy of them all, if you will, when it comes to 24-hour races. It's fun to watch, no doubt about it. I mean, 24 hours of racing and they strategically place the drivers in positions and different ways that they go about it. And it's real racing. It's the real deal. Of course, equate it to the 24-hour Rolex in Daytona every year as well. And like I said, I always always have good intentions, but when you're old like me, it's staying up 24 hours is hard to do. So I probably won't do that, but I will catch it here in just a little bit. Maybe have it on in the background for a while, see what's happening with the 24-hour Le Mans. Also, Steve Wilson, Speedway Digest, joined us, talked some NASCAR Truck Series, just some overall, getting us caught up with some NASCAR. Of course, the only race on the track today is the truck race, which is in Iowa tonight at 8 o'clock, 8:30. You should catch that on FS1. And what a fun time it was talking soccer, Women's World Cup, American baby, USA, with Sean Horton. Sean's been a good friend of mine for a long time and knows his soccer, and so good to have him on and just kind of catch up on soccer and talk about soccer, and we'll have him on as Team USA in the Women's World Cup finals progresses. So that brings us to the final segment of the show, and here we are, you and I together. We don't get a lot of alone quality time these days. Make sure you're following us on social media at T-Balance. Go to Facebook, type in The Balance, and hit follow, and you'll be able to stay up to speed with us. So let's just kind of break down some storylines, if you will, and we'll kind of try to touch on as much as we possibly can over the next 15 minutes or so. So let's talk a little bit about the over-celebration of Team USA. First of all, come on, guys. I know that all of us love to see women hug each other, right? Come on. God, there's nothing wrong with this. Come on. And so it all got, today in today's world and social media, how everything gets, how the tiniest of pebbles get turned into the biggest of boulders in a matter of moments. People are so emotionally reactive to things that happen. And so the Canadian, I make jokes about the Canadians, nothing against the Canadians. I love the Canadians. But this is one incident where it was not a good look for them. And it was also not a good look for them in the NBA Finals. And so we'll start with their talk about the Americans and how the Americans celebrated too much in their win over Thailand. Sorry, I was corrected on that earlier. Thailand, 13-0. I mean, first of all, getting 13 points in soccer is almost unheard of. I mean, it almost never happens. And to get a 13-0 win in the World Cup, that never happens. So there was a lot of reasons to celebrate. And yeah, they were celebrating like nobody's business. Maybe they did celebrate too much. I could see why you might say that, but I certainly don't agree with it. I think, so the Canadian news organization, I'm sorry I don't remember her name, news anchor woman, says on the air about how over celebrating the Americans did and how they are basically just running up the score and really making themselves look like fools and really making themselves look bad. I don't get it. No, they weren't. They were celebrating. Would the same Canadian organization say the same thing? So Canada plays New Zealand today. Will the Canadian team, it's not going to happen, but we're just doing this for purposes of conversation. Let's say that Canada takes on New Zealand today and wins 13-0 in the World Cup. Exact same scenario. Will we see Canadian women's soccer players in the Women's World Cup, will we see them celebrate like the Americans did? Well, it's a hypothetical question, so we could give a hypothetical answer. My hypothetical answer is Yes, we will.